temperature check on our community, on us. And I'd love to pass to Juan Carlos to kick us off.
Well, I am happy to be back home. The first days, like, I was a little bit distracted, but I feel that, I am super excited about everything that is coming, and that it's a good time. So yeah, I think that the temperature is really cool. Um, and I am super happy also about the Graviton training, about the Commons upgrade. Yeah, in this project as I was in the start, and even equally motivated. And I will pass to Edu.
Thank you, Juanca. Temperature check. So I don't know. I was just in an orientation call. Oops, sorry about that. I was in the orientation call, and it was nice to see people coming, joining the community with a clear intentions of what they were here. I felt that so the crew, the people who is joining also comes with a more aligned, very clear, sometimes very clear intentions. So that's really good. And in general, I just like how everything has fallen into action again, and how everyone is like sort of start, being productive and like being aligned, and it feels good. I just feel the motor is running, so that's good. I will pass it to Livy.
Thank you. Sorry, eating some chocolate. I think the community is doing great. I haven't seen anything so out of the flow recently. I think there's a lot of like sturdy and consistent progress, which is always a good sign. And people getting more in depth about different topics. And I think we're starting to mature some discussions about like the stewards and the things that fall under each person, and how can we decentralize the power always more and more. So I think it's really, really, really cool and chill in my perspective. And I'll pass to Chewy.
Sorry, I came in late. Is the question just temperature check?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. I don't think I can add a lot this week. I do feel that things have I don't know, maybe like taken a like a community comfort zone. I don't know if calling it that. But yeah, like I feel that we have definitely had like more active times, which is also giving like a lot of chance for people to feel good, maybe like take some time off. Also, like everything around Denver is getting really exciting, and some people from the community are there. So it also reminds me of ECC a little bit. But yeah, I feel that it's a good week, even though it has like a different pace. I'll pass it back to you, Tam, because I don't know who went already.
Cool, no problem. And I'll pass it to Ivy.
Thanks, Sam. I feel about the communities are like more open to communicate now. I mean, when I check the forums, I can see that more people are expressing their opinions on different issues. So I think it's a good thing, because that shows that people care about the the decisions that we're making as a volunteers as a DAO. So yeah, that's the only observation that and I pass it back to you, Tam. I don't know who already went.
And I'll pass it to Suga.
Thank you. Yeah. So I'm happy. I feel like when I see all of y'all, I feel a lot of good feelings, gratitude and support, and just puts a smile on my face. I feel like I have a lot of irons in the fire right now, feeling a bit I don't know if y'all can hear I just got the new cord for our keyboard, and my kids have it on the demo mode, and it's playing the Star Wars theme. And it started right when I started talking. So there you have it. I'm feeling a bit like Luke Skywalker, and ready to sort of slay some bad guys with the support of the Rebel Alliance. So on that note, I will pass it to Nate.
Thank you, Suga. I want to watch Star Wars. The community, yeah, it's great. I think the temperature check is good. I think that we're having a lot more engagement on a lot more topics. And I think overall the education within our community is really increasing, which is, a huge, huge plus. I think that if we keep progressing this way, we're just going to have a whole community of token engineers, which is great. So, yeah, but outside of that, I haven't seen any problems. I think the temperature is good. I think we're just kind of ramping up for this next Commons upgrade and designing our own economy. So I'll pass it to Wonka.
Are you ready? Well,
Oh, I'll pass it to Zepti.
Thanks, Nate. Yeah.
Yay.
Personally, I was on the Github house, hanging out with the crew. It was fun. Then I'm super happy we have the decision-making forum post that Libby make. It gives a lot of transparency in our processes, so this is cool. And yeah, I'm excited about params. I don't know if we're going slow or not, but I'm excited. I just want to go. Yeah, want to go. I'll pass it to... who didn't go? I'm not sure. I'll pass it back to you, Tam.
I'll snag it.
Well,
I'll snag it.
go ahead and take it.
And then Mount Manu, I think you're last, right? So the big, right? Yeah. Anyway, the big. I'm at MCon right now, and I'm wearing the TEC swag, and man, people love it. They walk up to me and they're like, "Oh my god, the TEC is so cool. Can you explain to me what it does?" That's the one thing. Like, they still don't. It's like, what is it exactly? But it's like, it's so cool. But what is it? And so that's like a common question. They, and I try to say, well, it's kind of like a public goods funding economy for advancing token engineering. And, I talk about education, and I talk about the IEEE and being like a whatever, being a engineering society for token engineers, pulling the token engineers out together so they can share ideas. And it's still, I look at them and I'm not doing a good job. I can see it in their face. They're not really, it's not like clicking, we don't have this we still don't have this simple, hey, what do you do? But that's okay. We'll get there. Also, a couple people are talking about how awesome gravity is, and that they're very excited to become gravitons and how important it is for the space. So major props, Wonka. That was the other major thing. Yeah. And then let's see, other things. The Common Swarm is feeling really good. They're very active. They're making progress, and they feel much more motivated right now, which is cool. We're hanging, like Zepti was saying, we're all, Sam and Paulo and I were all hanging out, and I think they feel, I think they're being, yeah, things are going well. Ever since Brett's review of the code, I think it gave them a lot of confidence, and they feel like they really want to produce things, especially also because a lot of the things we need, other groups need, like Agave, and so they're being, yeah, that helps engage as well. And I'll pass it to Mount Manu.
Thanks, Riff. Yeah, it's awesome. There's a lot of things going around. User testing is going great. Griff, you missed it yesterday, but it was good. There's about 100 people that I've messaged. Only about a handful left actionable feedback, but that's fine. Moving forward on that, got things working on Juanca on a Graviton session that I'm conducting with Chuy too. With Nate, I just touched base with Nate. We're gonna work on something as well. Very grateful to Tam for the coordination, onboarding that she did, and yeah, just excited to keep working on the things that we're working on, and also eager to. I missed the Communitas working group session because it wasn't on the calendar, and then it happened. But yeah, eager to get on the Communitas working group action as well, and just all around excited to do the work that I'm doing, and to see all the work that everyone's been doing around me. So that's it. I think that's it. So I'll pass it back to you, Tom.
I feel like, thanks. Somebody said the word maturity, and that really resonated for me. There's so much progress on so many different fronts at the same time. And the other thing that really resonated, going last, it's sort of like I have this list of things I want to say, but then I want to sort of riff on what other people said too. And what Griff was explaining about people not really understanding, there's just so many different layers of what the TEC is. First, you sort of have to understand what token engineering is, and then what a commons is, and maybe even what public goods is. So I feel like there's just these steps to understanding that maybe most people don't already have. But it got me thinking about a lot of ideas too. And I'd say that it feels like there's so much progress and there's a lot of maturity. One thing I noticed is that our goal to move a lot of our conversations in this sort of fast-moving Discord to the forums, which moves a little slower and is open to many more eyes, I feel like we've really succeeded there. We have so much engagement on the forums now, and there's less engagement on Discord, but it's really like it seems like we're using the appropriate places now for the audience that we're trying to be inclusive, to include in these discussions. So I just wanted to share that. That felt really good too. All right, cool. So this is your weekly public service announcement. It is 7:15 p.m. in CET, and have you checked your GitHub notifications? Because if you haven't and you're sitting in front of a computer right now, please do just open up GitHub, click on the Commons Build repository, and see who's tagged you in an issue. And get back to them. Let them know that you've seen the issue, that they've taken the time to tag you in. And yeah, so cool. I'll do that every week. So the Stewards Council starts next Thursday. So tomorrow we have our retrospective. The Steward Council is going to be the following Thursday, and we're going to have a little Stewards Challenge. The Stewards Challenge is please bring your shitty first draft of your funding for your working group. It doesn't have to be final, it doesn't have to be great, but just put something on paper about how you're thinking about funding the working group, and then the council will be dedicated entirely to that subject. The hopeful output is that we will all have more clarity about what to do and use the collective intelligence of the stewards to get there. There are 2 links that I thought were really useful for me. I don't know if other people have links that they want to share, but there's a link here for food for thought for this topic. The one was, there's a really interesting conversation on One Hive tulip swarm compensation stack discussion. And there's the community pulled in DX DAO compensation, and the thread is actually really interesting. So if you're thinking about looking for what's happening in the space now, it's a good thread. And then Nuggin made this amazing overview and analysis of Coordinate. And it's just another way to start thinking about it. We don't need to follow any of these models, but maybe just be informed of the different kinds of compensation models that are happening in the DAO space. And I would gladly invite anyone to add to this food for thought. And when there's new things, I'll be sharing it, or you can share on the Stewards channel, just to let everyone, so we're all sort of aware of what else is going on in this space. I hope everyone accepts that challenge. Even if it's not great, just something to get started. So Livia, I have this on the agenda as like, do we want to have decisions? Like, I know there was a call about decision space. I wonder, was there any output that we maybe that you want to share with the rest of the stewards, or a document that we could link to, or just something to share?
Sure. Zaptimus, do you want to talk about it since you're leading that?
Well, yeah, basically we were, last week we did a brainstorm with Juan, Ivy, and Livy and myself, and yeah, we went on when to use every, well, we first talk about every vote, and then every one of us take like some, and today we explaining a little bit what we were thinking, what's good for, and then also today we also was Manu and Edu there. Everyone says what they think this bot would be good for, and the update would be like myself and Ivy will clean this document and post it on the forum by tomorrow. But this it's just like we were studying when some bots are good or bad, or well, they are more efficient, but then everyone is everyone should use their expertise to decide the way they want to do things.
Okay, so there's something that's going to be posted later on the forum about it, or it was a review of what Livia already posted?
It's probably going to be a comment on the Livy's post.
Okay.
Yeah, Ivy
So
took the responsibility to put in the forum, so she might do it later, but we also have a document. I can put it here of what we were doing today.
good. Okay, cool. Thank you, Ivy, for that. So question is this final, I guess, the 75? I know that I threw a question up that I'm afraid blocked Juan Carlos, and I don't want to block him. So, but I was just considering how we set precedent for making the criteria for what can be a snapshot vote and what shouldn't. And I didn't see this update yet. So this decision can be made in the upgrade vote itself. So there's some different ways it looks like that we can put this to vote. One is, and this is the returning the 75%, up to 75% of the governance that was deleted. And part of it is, one of it was Snapshot, the original proposal. And then I posted sort of, I don't know, like what is our criteria for Snapshot versus HatchDAO? Maybe it's not clear for me. I don't know if it's clear for anyone else. I'd love to ask for if there is something clear that we could put on paper. I didn't see it in this decision-making forum post, Livia, and that's why I raised it. But it also seems that SEM is proposing that it can also be part of the Commons upgrade vote itself. So now we have 3 ways to vote for this. I can definitely see that Snapshot would be the fast and easy approach to do this, and also no cost option. So I think that's a nice option, but I'm just wondering, like, if this does impact the Commons DAO architecture, should we just set the precedent that does require a HatchDAO vote? Griff, I'll pass to you since you had the original update for Snapshot.
Yeah, I don't think it, because it's part of the Commons upgrade, no matter what, it's kind of looped into that as an on-chain discussion. So technically anyone could veto it it's like the Commons upgrade is going to have a lot of pieces to it, including this 75% give back, assuming it passes the Snapshot validation. So like no matter whatever choice we use to vote on it, the HatchDAO will vote on it, right? Or if it passes. So it's kind of going to have 2 votes no matter what, because it's part of the Commons upgrade. Because if there's something that's part of the Commons upgrade that anyone doesn't like, they can just stop it, right? Or at least if 12% of the voters don't like it, they can stop it. So I think snapshot is fine personally, but because it's simple and that's how most of the votes are happening, and then we don't have to do 1,000. But at the same time, I don't mind practicing playing with the hatch DAO. I mean, it's good to practice. Should I pass it? I'll pass it to Wonka, I guess.
Yeah, I think that snapshot would be interesting, and I also think that the discussion around this proposal have been in the advice process, and right now, like I feel like the advice process is very mature, and it's just like the technicalities. But yeah, I think that the snapshot vote could be good. Maybe this thing of requesting some die from the hatch DAO would be the only thing that maybe should be included in the snapshot vote. Like, but I think that snapshot could proceed. Sorry, Tam.
No, I just did. I thought you got cut off for a moment, but I was just going to say, yeah, it's a very good point that the proposal also does need funding. And would that be included in the snapshot vote? Sorry, I think we getting this decision-making stuff right is going to be important for later on in our DAO.
I think my main question is that if it's going to be proposed to the hatch DAO no matter what, I don't see why proposing to snapshot also.
I think that if you like, I look at snapshot as being like the precursor to a hatch DAO vote. Like if it passes the snapshot, then you can allow it to be voted on in the hatch DAO. But if it does not pass snapshot, then there's no reason to include it, because then you're sacrificing the entire proposal.
Yeah, exactly. If we do snapshot and it's a no, then it will not be included. We would just not include it. So then it would be left out. Or if there's a governance process that votes no, then it's not part of the Commons upgrade. But if it's a proposal that votes yes, then it is part of the Commons upgrade and we have to vote on it twice.
So we just want to do should snapshot first because of the cost. Is that the thing?
Well, because we need some sort of understanding of what people really think, right? Like if there's just a bunch of no's, then there's a bunch of no's and we just won't even bother doing the dev work, please. Because it's not like it's free to just like do it, you know?
So if anyone blocks it, yeah, I think that maybe we can have the snapshot vote, and I will update the question, including the parts of the that the implementation would also request some funds from the hatch DAO.
No, we don't. No, I don't mean free as in money. I just mean free as in time. Like, you know, it's like there's just like effort. We don't need funding.
Nova Sam commented that it would be great to request him.
I would do that. Well, I mean, we could put that in there as well, I guess, into the snapshot vote too, if we want to suggest a retroactive funding, imply a retroactive funding of some amount.
Maybe I'll propose, I do like the idea of including the cost, because it's one of the factors for consideration, but maybe it doesn't. Maybe it can be the approved for when the Commons launches, if that makes sense. I don't know if that would be agreeable to Sam or not, but as soon as the Commons launches, then that would be paid to the Commons Forum. I'm not even sure that would be fair to make people wait. So maybe that's a bad idea.
No, I
guess
think
the
that's the
question
way to
is,
go.
Okay, I guess the question is how the mechanism for us to actually release the funds from the Hatch DAO would be another proposal that then we would have to have in the Hatch DAO to release funds for this to happen before the Commons upgrade. I just feel like that's quite maybe complicated. So maybe there's a way to make that simpler by agreeing that these funds will be released with the Commons upgrade.
That's what I would prefer. Although, did Sam actually give a budget? I guess I missed this.
It's a recent post, 15 minutes ago. So I'm catching up on it too. And it was on the thread. He also said that it could be made in the Commons upgrade vote itself. I guess the one sort of, if I was going to raise a cautionary flag, would be, yeah, I don't know. I guess that's why we're doing snapshots, so that we can actually have the real signal on including it in the Commons DAO. Like, okay, never mind. I'm going to stop my own train of thought before it gets out of my mouth. Cool. Is it clear, Wonka, what to do next for you?
Yeah, I will post the question, like, and also I think that maybe quadratic voting or single choice voting are the best options. And I will rewrite the question, maybe including some aspect of retroactive to see like if there is an agreement or there is a signaling of the question. Maybe we can do it this same Friday, starting the 17th. I think you're muted, Tam.
Oh, I didn't fully understand. What would we? Would it not be a yes/no vote on do we do this or do we not do this?
No, it's a yes/no vote. Yes, but I am just going to reframe the question to include that part of some retroactive, and yeah, I will post it again. And if no one blocks it, I will push so that the vote starts on this Friday.
On Snapchat. Snapshot. What is it called? Snapshot. Let's vote on Snapchat. Sorry, on Snapshot. Okay, cool. Excellent. And there's another proposal that's probably is ready to be posted to the Hatch DAO. So I just want to check with Griff. This is the Burn Mint. We have 3 confirmed addresses of 3 people who no longer have access to the keys. Zep, do you have anything to add?
Oh, no, not really. Like, yeah, just follow the process. I think we're good.
And the process is now it has to be submitted to the Hatch DAO, right?
Yeah, and Griff should post before put it on the Hatch DAO for transparency. Griff should post not the names, but you know what is going to be on the on the proposal anyway. Like these addresses are going to be burn and these are going to be mint. Just you know, if someone they're burning my tokens and I even never speak to them. So yeah.
I can do that during this call.
Thanks, Griff.
Oh, cool. Juan Carlos, I just want to say, if we're starting the 17th, so 2 days, so we're talking about starting a vote in 2 days and ending it in 5 days. And it's a kind of vote that impacts quite a lot of people who would be interested in it. So along with proposing this as a vote, I think we should make sure that we have some sort of outreach in place to make sure that people that are interested in this are informed that the vote is happening.
Okay, Tam. Then I will propose to do it on the 24th to the 26th, 24th to the 27th. That is 1 week from now, and yeah, continue polishing this vote, and also I will talk to comms to have some engagement and preparation for the vote.
Okay. Yeah, I think giving people a few days to know it's happening is a good idea, and to read up on it and to decide. Yeah, I think that's a very good idea. Thank you.
Okay.
Regarding the 75% gov buyback or give back, is anybody opposed to the idea of having a communal pool of tokens that are managed by multisig for the committee idea?
I mean,
So I feel like if we vote yes, then somebody, like if a handful of you want to donate your tokens to that type of pool, I don't know if it's possible, but I still am a really big fan of the idea. But I just wanted to give it a last hurrah before we retire it.
Community poll for what?
So instead of you receiving your give back tokens to yourself, we create a pool that can be given to a committee of token engineers to utilize as a method for incentivizing prominent token engineers to guide the TEC, instead of you getting the tokens yourself for governance.
I feel like everyone should do with their tokens whatever they want, but I think I'm not giving mine. Like, for me, like, if someone wants to get governance, they have to do something for the DAO, put money, do some, like, yeah, duocracy.
I have some thoughts I'd like to share. I really like the idea, actually. I think that it makes this proposal more complicated than it probably should be, though, because now we need to create a DAO and have some sort of invite-only, a consortium or like a committee to agree on who gets invited to the multi-sig. I think it just adds more complexity than maybe we want for this particular vote. But I could see some sort of structure like that happening in the future, perhaps. But I maybe would think if we didn't add it to this, it would be best for this proposal to have a cleaner decision-making process.
That's fair. I just, this is kind of like a one and done thing because it's non-transferable and all that good stuff. So I just, wanted to throw the last Hail Mary before we put it to rest.
It's, in the end, you can always lobby people to pool their tokens after if it passes. Honestly, we had another call the other day, and I'm not sure it's going to pass. So.
Also, the idea is if these governance tokens exist, there can be some way in the future to then create this pool later. But I think I don't think that this is the only moment where we can have some sort of structure like that.
This is another thing with this vote that I'm a little concerned, or that I'm questioning. I mean, I guess we have the vote and just do it simple, yes, no, and then, but maybe afterwards, like let's say it's a no, I would probably propose that we still try to get SEM to include the ability to have governance tokens for later use cases. So even if it goes no, because otherwise we wouldn't include it, and we would not ever be able to have governance tokens.
I have only one question, and maybe Griff, if you want, we can have a sync about this. But it's on the thoughts from the group conversation, like people who choose to, and like what if some people of this rage quit? Yeah, if they will still have their tokens to vote, and people who chose to, is you say that maybe there would be people in the list that is not interested in receiving the 75 governance give back?
Yeah, but then they just have those tokens locked. If they don't want to vote, they don't vote. If they misbehave and vote, we can always vote to burn their tokens through graduated sanctions, and that's already in place. So I don't see any concerns with like, I rage quit, you know? I still have these tokens. Damn you! And I don't know, like this. It's like they're just sitting there on your address.
So about what you said, Griff. So we would have these governance tokens. We would have the possibility of adding them to the contract, even if that doesn't affect anything right now. Like that would just be a code sitting there.
I will try to push that because I have very specific use cases that I want. So that don't apply now and are scope creep. So like, but I really, really want people to be able to create governance tokens.
So that can happen even like, but would we have to vote on this if that would just be a piece of code that are not going to be executed right now?
If Sam is saying that to do it, we'd have to give him 5K. I think it would be like polite to vote on it. Yeah. That's new information of 20 minutes ago, so like I didn't really think about that.
Cool. If there's nothing else to talk about for these two or any of the other proposals or decisions, then I'll move on. Okay, so we have a new steward nomination this week, but they're not present on this call. So rather than spoil the nomination, I think that I'd love if there was a volunteer to reach out and see if this person would accept the nomination. And then perhaps we can invite them to join next week. So anyone would like to volunteer to do that?
I can do that.
Cool. Excellent. Yeah, I think that we haven't had the case where they weren't on the call. So I thought maybe it's best just to see if they would like to accept it or not, actually, before we announce it. Okay, and I'll move on. So the Curate list, I don't know if you guys remember the Curate list. Hatch Outreach was using it a lot for the people that we reached out to. The Spotlight, we were using it for the Spotlight. It has some emails, it has a few things in there. And now that we're using the Spotlight, at least now as this doc is a tracker, we created this new just the Spotlight tracker. So we pulled it out of the Curate, and I've locked down the Curate to just a bunch of people that participated in Hatch Outreach. So I think Livia, Eduardo, myself, Craig, of course, a few other people actually who still have access to that sheet in case we need it for any reason. But this way we can put the Spotlight tracker and sort of the archive of all the past Spotlights back on Gitbook where we had it before. So people have easy access to look at it without seeing a bunch of token engineers' emails or other people, like more maybe like information that's not related to the Spotlight. Speaking of the Spotlight, we have something cool coming up tomorrow. That's amazing. Great. Do you want to introduce it, Nate?
Dada and the Invisible Economy is scheduled for tomorrow with Sebnem. So it'll be interesting. Because I know nothing about the project.
Cool. I know a little bit, but I always like to see them around again. It's nice. They're a really cool group.
Can I just inject something before I forget? Shebnem reached out. I don't know if she reached out to others for participation in Omega's call today. I'm not going to be able to make it, but if anyone has ethical dilemmas in the token engineering space or knows of anyone that had ethical dilemmas in the token engineering space, their attendance would be incredible.
Cool. And we also have this Commons configuration dashboard form. Griff, do you want to, you shared it with us last week already. Oh, I don't know if I can. Do you want to sort of introduce it and explain?
Sure. Okay, so these are the questions we have to decide on. There is one extra that I added called the initial buy-in to the bonding curve. I think that can be also like something that we change at the last minute, but it'd be really great to hear your signals. But because we need it for the dashboard ASAP. So whatever the default is, like we got to pick a default. And then what's the other thing? Yeah, there's all these other questions that are there. It's mostly around like the proposals, the proposal cost within conviction voting, and the proposal deposit cost and challenge deposit cost for disputable voting within DAO voting and conviction voting. They're the same. So, and the settlement time. And so if there's, and then what's the other one? There's one more, Tam. Can you flip back? Oh yeah, whether or not the token should be transferable. And your email. But yeah, so I don't know if you guys have any questions about this. It would be great if you did, but I really just want everyone to signal. You can't change your vote right now. You just have to edit your response, but it is a one person, one vote, and then I'll aggregate the responses for the parameter thing, and I'll report them to the steward's call and just get, make sure there's no objections. That's the decision-making process I wanted to propose. So yeah, any questions on that? Any specific parameter that needs more explanation?
I'll say that I really liked how I was able to just click on a link and read everything about it. That made it go so much faster for me. In fact, that made it possible for me to even do. So nice touch there. Juan Carlos, you wanted to share something?
No, maybe I will just read more and then prepare a better question.
Cool. And I mentioned I just mentioned it on the Telegram group that I didn't feel like I was going to have the right answer, and I would probably change my mind, but I just kind of took like a best guess just to keep momentum on this, and then we can always rediscuss the defaults later. Perhaps.
Yep, and remember,
the defaults are.
Go ahead.
The defaults are part of the advanced section, so we could, in theory, change them as part of the Commons upgrade, right? Okay, great. That's what I thought.
Yep. Defaults are powerful. It will be hard to change, but in the end, we have to decide something. We don't know what the best answers are, and if all of a sudden we have a very strong opinion, tokens should be non-transferable. A lot of people can manually change that, and maybe a popular proposal will be forked that has that default setting. So, and that's all fine. Thank you for voting. Vote ASAP. Vote today.
Cool. So I wanted to raise up something, and it comes out of sort of this, just I feel like, when we're not like, there are ways that we have a lot of transparency in our working together, and ZenHub and Discord are really great ways. And I think a lot of our collaboration with each other happens sometimes, even though it impacts wider groups, sometimes it happens in smaller circles. And I just want to maybe say, we can all, myself included in this, have an awareness of when we think that decisions that were, or not even decisions, but like ideas or decisions or paths we're taking might affect more people, that we can communicate it either in ZenHub or in Discord or in some other way. I don't know if anyone else wants to. I think it's really about like transparency and collaboration ends up being beneficial. I know that I tout ZenHub and using issues to communicate with each other because it makes it so easy for people to follow everything in one space on one particular piece of work. And maybe it's also a call to be like, let's use ZenHub more. Let's use it what it's designed for, to keep everyone informed of what's happening on different pieces of work.
Yeah, and I think also the chats on it happens quite frequently of like, oh, let's make a Discord group to coordinate on a call time or something, while this could be done in the chat of the, like for example, this call we had today for the voting, for looking into the voting types, that we talked about it in a separate group. We could have talked about it in SoftGov and tagged everyone so more people could feel welcome to it, not only having the call in the calendar, but participating in the discussion of how that comes to be and making that visible.
Yeah, I would say too as well, like I know that I have a lot of these Discord chats happening that I now think twice. I'm like, should this be in one of the channels instead of a private group? Because even if it's like, I think the feeling is like not disturbing the whole channel with sort of discussions, but there's something really nice about that transparency too, especially if you're in other Discords and you're sort of seeing like the collaboration in motion of other Discords. You can see sort of how valuable it is. Anyone else
For me,
want to
the
raise some
challenge
thoughts?
is that I just think people won't see it in the channel very like promptly, so sometimes it might get slow. So I totally agree, and this is something that we've talked about in params, trying to move it there. But then when I post in the channel, I don't expect people to see it, and I go and DM everyone anyway, or which is okay, which I honestly I think is a better approach, right? So like, hey, check that channel. Hey, check that channel. By the time I say that 5 times in like 2 weeks, they'll just start checking the channel.
I want to open for anyone else to share thoughts. Cool, exciting. We'll move to the next issue. Blog post is for this week. Let's see, is this true? Katie, do you know when the next blog post is? I feel like I'm not sure. Let me look on a calendar.
Yeah, actually, I'm meant to be doing that not this week, but we can wait to next week if we want. If there's more things to add, we don't have like a timeline, I guess.
Okay,
but
well, yeah. I mean, maybe we'll see. Maybe we can still get it out this week. Maybe the end of this week.
Sure. Yeah.
Is there anything else we want to add to this? This is for everybody, really. So Gitcoin grants, the things that are happening in the forum, the snapshot vote, and all the education opportunities. Perhaps this is a great time to add the 75% governance is going to snapshot. Does any other steward have things to add to the blog post?
New working group, Communitas.
Woohoo! Right, thank you.
Thanks.
Sorry, I missed it. Was Graviton training added? Sorry, was Graviton training added?
Yeah.
No, it was in the last one, but we should probably add it again, of course.
But it's there.
Oh, no, yeah, yes.
Number 4.
Yeah. It's sort of like a bucket of all the educational initiatives that are happening. Cool. All right, and with the last 8 minutes, just a reminder that tomorrow is the retrospective and Friday is our sprint planning. Tag your issues with next sprint, yay. We maybe shall go around and do working group updates. I want to start with Griff because I want to hear what's going on with params and Common Swarm, if there are any updates for this week.
Params, they're just chugging along. I mean, you know, stuff is hard, and the goal is to get everything out there and dirty, and then go back once people can start proposing with it in some way, you know, then clean everything up and make it way better. But have it like start not assume that we know what all the problems are, and actually just start making it. Our big milestone that we're shooting for is like have like a rough cut that is feature complete, and I believe that should be done by next Thursday. Not tomorrow, but next Thursday, because the last one is the bonding curve, and that's pretty far along. So and then the GitHub issue creation itself is the other thing, which we already have that tested. So it's a lot of manual work left, but no thought work and no blockers. So we should be able to kick it out this week. Like all the blockers have been run into, so that's encouraging. And then for, but that will be, so that means that next Thursday, not tomorrow, but next Thursday, we should have a rough cut where people could actually start playing with parameters and proposing it. That's why I'm pushing to get your stewardship, the steward's defaults right now, because that's a blocker for that launch. And then Common Swarm, I'm just a little scared of the major scope creep that continues to come in about other cool features that we can add and like stuff that we can do with Agave and blah, blah, blah. So, I mean, we have the audit done with Brett and clear things that need to be fixed in the bonding curve. And I'm glad that we did the audit. Nothing major, but like some things that, you know, would have been better not to launch with. And then it's really just like, how do we focus on us getting the Commons upgrade going? We ran into some major blockers with the graph and EVM CRISPR that were overcome this weekend. And so we should have an internal demo of doing the Commons upgrade for tomorrow, like in a DAO, and I believe we'll demo that. But then, so we should, and then we have to test the migration tools. I don't think the Common Swarm will be a blocker as long as we can prioritize getting it ready over cool features that sound fun. And I'll pass it back to you, Tam, to pick your next favorite.
Yeah, no, we have. Wait, who said you were my favorite? We have 4 minutes, and I actually just want to say, I want to say, is there any steward who wants to share or needs to share some update from their working group? So transparency or comms, soft gravity, legal. Is there anyone who wants to take this time, gravitas, no, communitas, time with me today, who wants to share with the rest of the stewards an update?
We're having, next Friday in legal meeting, we are having the first discussion on the draft for the terms on the bonding curve. And it'd be great if any of you guys can join. There's Sean created the first draft. I was reviewing it. There's a lot of information there, and it'd be great. As many anyone who joins will bring and will add. So I encourage anyone who can to join us next Friday.
Is the most updated version also in the legal channel?
I just created the document yesterday because Sean sent it to me on a Word document, and I created the Google version of it.
Those lawyers.
Yeah, he always works with Ford. So I updated it. I will share the link on the. It's an open editable. Anyone can edit it. So I will share it on the legal channel right now after the call, and anyone who wants to jump in and add their comments, if they can come on Friday, great. If they don't, if they want to take a look and share their comments, it'd be great.
While we're on the subject, text source, update your working group profile page, add any documents that you want people to work on, use it.
I want to share
Awesome.
quickly that we'll have. Oh,
Go ahead.
no, that we'll have a call tomorrow for the reward systems at 4 p.m. CET. So if anyone wants to come, it's the first time we're kind of like gathering everyone together and seeing who's going to do what and building kind of a timeline, hopefully.
And I also want to just have a plug for maybe dropping the legal terms in the GitHub issue. I don't know if there's any reason not to do that. Perhaps there's some reasons we don't want to do that. But yeah, I think that can also have more eyes on it than in the legal.
Yeah, I'll update
Or
that. I'll update that. Yeah.
Yeah, or maybe also drop it in the stewards channel too, or tag stewards, or tag, you know, subject matter expert stewards, just to get more eyes on it.
Yeah, it's a great idea.
I would love to see it, but I know I can't make that call for personal scheduling reasons. The same thing with the rewards. So yeah, but I would be happy to look at it, and I'm really curious about it too. So I think other people might be in the same situation.
Yep.
Anyone else? Last 60 seconds.
Graviton training starting next Tuesday, and yeah, doing the last things so that everything is in order.
Cool, excellent. Thanks everyone. And,
Thank you, Tam.
Thanks everyone.